There was a short Torah and there was a longer Torah. I was going to go with the short Torah because that's how the book goes, and like I like to go page by page. But in Manasot, we breathed, the Orot opened up, the Orot of Yud Gimel Midot HaRachamim, the Orot of Yud Kei Vav Kei Hashem Havaya opened up, the Nigunim opened up, Marbim B'Simcha. What more Simcha could we have than Torah? So we're going to be Marbim B'Simcha. We're going to increase our Torah a little bit tonight, and B'ezrat Hashem, take it to the next level. So we're going to skip a little bit. Remind me to go back to it. Right? We'll complete it for sure. We have to. But we're going to go into tonight. So ignore the time. Two people on Instagram. It's the same thing. Koach la'afrid ben adam leven matzavav. The power to separate between a person, himself, and the situations he's going through in life. That's the topic for the night. And I promise you, this is one of the most revolutionary Torahs you're going to learn. I see that a lot because I like to teach revolutionary Torahs. So, Baruch Hashem. But this is really one of them. This is really one of them. This is Korva El Nafshi, a book from Rav Avraham Tzvi Kluger, Shlita, big tzaddik in B'Shemesh. B'ezrat Hashem, that Chabur right now, we're going down his path a little bit. After 2.5 years in Rav Vichamayer's realms, we're going to go travel in the nefesh, in the body, like we just breathe, right? Tikkun nefesh. It's the most important thing we can do. First things first, we have to be bodies with souls, right? We have to know that we have a body, and we have to be aware of that. So that body goes through many different situations in life, and different ups and downs, and sometimes situations can overcome us. Tonight we're going to learn how to step out of them. What gives us the power to step out of them? Vayotze oto achutza. The pasuk with Avraham Avinu, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu Hashem took Avraham Avinu out. He took him out. So that's the pasuk that we're working off tonight. Yesh v'adam matzui betocho shel inyan u'matzav ovrim alav. Sometimes a person's betocho, he's inside an inyan, inside an idea in life, inside a situation that's happening to him. V'hamatzav ino chelek bilti nifrad min adam atzmo. The situation is not able to be separated from the person himself. Kegon matzav shel simcha o etzev. For example, a time of joy, a time of sadness. That a person, he's living it, he's there, he feels it in his nefesh, even in his body he can feel it. And he's not able to stand outside of the situation. He doesn't see it from the outside perspective. That he'll be able to rule over it and to really be able to make decisions. Do I want to go into it? And if I do, how much do I want to go into it? How much am I going to give my energy and my power to this situation right now? מצבים של לחץ ומרוקה, situations of deep strife and stress, דאגה וטרדה, anxiety and trouble, רוגז או עלבון, anger or disgrace, צער או טרוניה, all these different pain, hardships that people could go through in life, התרגשות או שמחה, excitement or joy, כפויים על הנפש כחבית כבדה שהולכה הפוכה על קוד האדם. It's as if you took a barrel, any of these emotions, right? The good ones and the bad ones. You took a barrel, you put it over a person's head, right? And he's, so to say, he's stuck inside this situation, right? A barrel of joy, boom, on top of the head, he can't get out of the barrel, right? Or a barrel of chas v'chalila, depression, right? Either or, a person finds himself, so to say, stuck inside this situation. It's bearing a person underneath without the ability to even be saved, be rescued from out underneath it. Right? It fills him up completely in his mind, in his thoughts, in his speech, in his action. It comes out of him in every way. The situation that he's going through inside is just being expressed every way possible, in any form possible. He nearly has no ability, he doesn't even have, so to say, the free choice to take a step out and to look at what's going on in him. So too, it could be in a Gemara, you're learning Torah, you're stuck inside that thing, you're in the Torah idea so much, or some kind of thing in the world, and you're learning, and you're so hard inside there, you're so wrapped up inside this sugya that you're in, this certain topic, and you're not even able to see the other side. You're not even able to see the other opinion, the makhluk, the other side of the opinion of this idea. Because you're so stuck in your side. It has to be this way, you can't even make room for another opinion to come down. אינו יכול לסכם את הדברים ולתת להם הגדרה כוללת מאחר שעודנו מצוי באמצע אחד השלבים וטרם נחלץ להתייצב מבחוץ לראות את הכלליות הדברים. You're not able to summarize what's going on because you're still so stuck on one side, on one of the steps of the understanding of that idea, that you're not able to get to the end and just take a step out and look at what was said, what's going on. אך יש מצב שני, but there's another situation where a person is separate from the idea, and he's, so to say, he's made as if he's standing outside of the idea, and he's able to look at it. He's opposite the situation that's going on, and he's not part of it. It is not part of him. For example, a situation of joy or sadness, if a person starts to contemplate, what's the real cause of the joy here? What's the real cause of the sadness? What's the root of what's going on here? Make a decision, think about it in your head. Do I want to be part of this or not? Right? What's going on here? Why is the simcha? What's going on? Where is it coming from? Do I want this? Right? Person's at a wedding. We said this before in the Chabura. Makes a decision. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem. Or gadol. Or gadol. Right? Person goes to a wedding and he makes a decision. How much can I drink right now? How much can I go into it? How much do I want to let loose? Joy, I want to feel joy for sure. It's part of the wedding. But where is the limit? Where is the border right now? Because I have obligations and I have different things going on in my life, right? And how much energy can I afford to invest in this simcha right now? Or on the other side, all the hard news that we've been hearing in the past year and a half, kidnapped people, death, the things hurt, they hurt, but how much do you want to be sucked up into this thing? How much do you want to talk about it? How much do you want to consume? Is that all that's coming out of you? The pain. Said it's good for a person to feel the cloud, to be part of Am Yisrael, and to feel everybody's pain. But you have to live your life too. And you have to be in joy. Again, whenever you're able to step out of the situation and look at it, so then you're able to calculate, how much of this am I willing to engage in? How much of this, how deep am I going into this emotion? בטרם יושפע בנפשו ובגופו מתחושה מסוימת, כמו שמחה, מעוקה, דאגה, עליצות, עלבון, סלחנות, before you have this light come down on your nefesh, right, from a certain feeling of joy or pain or anxiety or forgiveness, whatever it is, or after it already happened, the light has already come down to you, and you're able to be taken out of it, contemplate on it, judge it, think about its effects on you and what it's going to do to you, the ashpa'ah that's coming down, and what's going on. Now you're able to see other sides that maybe you didn't think about before, because you're contemplating the whole picture. What's going on in this joy? What's involved in me going deeper into this joy? What's it going to do to me? Is it right or not? This morning we were learning holy confidence, right? He said a person he wakes up in the middle of the night, and the Yetzer Hara tells him, if you stay up now and do Avodat Hashem, you're going to be weak later in the day. It's not the right thing. Go to sleep. And the Yetzer Hara doesn't want you to serve Hashem in the middle of the night. That's like the holiest thing to do. Right? So you woke up with a light. He tells you, no, go back to sleep. There's a side that could be true, that you're going to be a week later. But right now, Kadosh Baruch Hu woke you up in the middle of your sleep, and you have a light there. You want to connect to Him. You want to open a book. You want to say Tehillim. You want to meditate. You want to do something. Go to the mikveh. Go do Hitbodedut. And the Yetzer Hara says, no, the Ikar is that you have power later in the day. But what am I going to do? There's a light right now. If you're able to feel the light, step outside a little bit and say, really, hold on, what do I have coming up? And what would be the outcome of me doing this right now? Good or bad? And then make a decision. Not just to be flow with the light or to shut down the light, listen to the Yetzer Hara, go back to sleep. No, let's step out a little bit. What would happen if I stayed up an hour right now? What would happen if I went to sleep for another 30, 40 minutes and got up then? Still got up a little bit earlier, but a little bit more rest. A little calculation before we just flow. And you see the other side and you feel it as well. You're not so stuck in one side that you can't hear the other opinion. You sort of say, pull yourself out of the situation to be able to summarize and give a general definition of what's going on here. You get saved, so to say, rescued from being part of the situation and being able to step opposite it and to see the bigger picture. This is the pasuk we started with. Hashem took Avram out. What did He do? Hashem promised Avram, I'm going to make from you a holy nation, right? Goy Kadosh, a holy people in this world, a precious nation. He took him out. Rashi says, הוציאו מחללו של עולם והגביאו למעלה מן הכוכבים, וזהו לשון הבטה מלמעלה למטה. Rashi says on that idea of Avram being taken out, Rashi says he was taken out of the universe, out of the galaxy, out of this world, above the stars. And this is the word abata. Abata in Hebrew, lahabit, means to look at something, to stare at something. But it's here, Rashi, from what we understand, is from Rashi, habata is when you're above something looking down at it. Right? Bird's eye view. Bird's eye view is what's called abata, from what we understand in this Rashi, and that's what Hashem wanted to do to Avraham. Let me take you above the situation, now look down on it. Stare down and contemplate from up above, look down at it, look at the situation. Can you see children in there now? You see a little sparkling nation? That's the nation of Israel. Those are your children. When you were inside of it, you were 99 years old, no children, what's going to be? Right? Of course you can't see it. Now that you're out of the situation, can you?
It was brought above the world or above creation?
Above everything. It's a spiritual journey. It's definitely, at that point, already a spiritual journey, right? But Rashi says, he was taken, he took him out of this galaxy, so to say, even just... Or the Chalelo Shel Olam, you could even go deeper in Kabbalah, you say he took him out of the whole entire creation. He took him above to the blueprint and showed him maybe, you could do the Halal is everything that's ever been created, spiritual and physical. So, כל המבין את ההבדל הגדול שבין להיות בתוך המצב לבין לעמוד מולו ולחשוב עליו מבחוץ, הן בעניינים בלתי רצויים שהבדל ניכר לאדם, אם נעשה חלק מהם, מכיל אותם, פועל מכוחם, או שנותר פירוד מהם. everyone could understand the difference, the great difference from being stuck in a situation and being in front of a situation. Whether we're talking about things that you don't want to be a part of, where there it's recognizable, you can tell this is not, right? This is something that I definitely don't want to go into, even if it feels like you want to go into it, you know you shouldn't be going there. אם נעשה חלק מהם, מכיל אותם, פועל מכוחם, או שנותר פירוד מהם, מבין על אודותם, וחופשי להחליט מה מידת השפעתם עליו. Think about it. What's it going to do to me? What's going on here? What are going to be the outcomes of what I'm feeling right now? Decide then if you want to do it still. גם בעניינים נחשפים, כגון מצבים של דבקות בהשם יתברך, קיים ההבדל הגדול בין שני המלאכים הנ"ל. Even when it comes to spiritual things like dvekut and attaching yourself to Hashem and tefillah and Torah and all these practices, there's also these two aspects of being inside something or being able to step out of it and to observe what's going on. But in the holy thing, it's the opposite that you want. Dainu, meaning, שגם שם יש באדם הוא חלק מן העניין. Also in holy things that you become part of the thing, right? You're sucked up, so to say, in dvekut. You're so sucked up in the Torah that you're learning, right? לעומת זאת, יש והינו ניצב מן הצד ומשקיף אל תוכו. There's also a situation, though, that you're, so to say, from the side and looking in from the side into the situation. מה רב ההבדל בין זה שקדושת שבת נעשתה מאורה בתוך תוכה של נפשו, ונעשה כולו למציאות של עונג ודבקות, לבין זה המתייחס אל השבת כמציאות שעדיין נפרדת ממנו. How big is the difference between a person that when he goes into Shabbat, he becomes Shabbat. Shabbat consumes him. To the person who, I'm keeping Shabbat. No, I can't do that today. Right? It's Shabbat. Yeah? Exactly. Eli Shmereni. Right? Shabbat is what guards me. Hashem is what guards me. It's not I'm keeping Shabbat now. Oh yeah. No. It's Shabbat. It's like it's a being. It's a sense. It's a Shabbat overtakes me. It's not there's Shabbat and there's me. It's complete unity. Dibur. Now we get to speech. Anhaga, koach, hafrada. It's a behavior. It's a practice. And it's the power of separation. Now that we know these two situations, where a person's consumed by the situation, or a person's able to step outside and look at it and think about it. ונותן טעם להעמיק להבחין. מה הכוח המנתק את האדם מתוכו של דבר ומעמידו חוצה לו? What is the ability that gives a person the power, the choice to separate himself from a situation and to stand outside of it and look at it? זה אומר כוח הדיבור, כוח ההפרדה, the power of speech, the power of separation. כאשר אדם מצוי בעיצומו של כאב בנפש, when a person is found,
the power of separation, you mean like you could be in a tough situation and you could be like under a lot of pressure and you could step out and look at it from the outside and be able to say, wait.
To talk about it.
Through speech.
Speech is the power. That means, if I can talk about the inyan, that means I'm not consumed by it. I can talk about it. Well, it'll be clarified right now. It's going to get answered right now. כאשר אדם מצוי בעיצומו של כאב, when a person's found in the hardest part of the pain that's going on in his soul right now, אינו יכול עדיין לדבר עליו. He's not able to really talk about it. חש אותו, מרגיש היטב, אך אל פיו לא יגיע. He feels it. He knows he's going through something. He feels it really well, but it's not going to make it to his mouth. לא ידובר ולא יתומלל. He won't be able to speak about it. You're not going to be able to make words out of it. מאז שאוכל אדם לדבר על הדבר, לספר על אודותיו, להביט עליו בכלליות ולתת לו הגדרה, הווה אומר שיצא מתוכו. The second a person is able to tell the story of what's going on, to talk about what he's going through, to give it a general definition, now you can say he stepped out of it. Now you can say he's no longer sucked up into the situation. He's separated out, he's able to talk about it. הופרד ממנו ונעשה עומד חוצה לו. The situation has been separated from him, and now it's standing in opposition. It's over there. תחושותיו הפנימיות של האדם הם המיית נפשו, רוחו ונשמתו. Your inner feelings, your inner senses, they are hemiyat. They are the Aviad, hemiyat. hemiyat. תחושותיו הפנימיות של האדם הם המיית נפשו, רוחו ונשמתו. הומיה, מה זה הומיה? Him, the harmony, right? Your body is giving you the chimes, giving you the alerts, giving you the tzlilim, the sounds that need to tell you what's going on, right? Your body, your nefesh is always talking to you. Your ruach, your nefesh and your neshama are always...
Internal harmonious singing type of synchronicity, or as we seem to talk about, your own internal song.
Yeah, and sometimes that song is a sad song, sometimes it's a happy song, right? But like, you're feeling something inside, your body's talking to you, your nefesh is talking to you, your ruach is talking to you, your nefesh is giving you notifications, hey, feed me, talk to me.
It's like the shofar.
Right, exactly. בהיותו בתוך תוכן, אינו מגלה החוצה מן העובר עליו. When you're consumed inside of them, you're not able to reveal what's going on inside of you. חש כי כל מילה הנאמרת מן הפה ולחוץ, אינה משקפת אפילו מעט מן המתחולל בתוכו. Any word that I could get out could never even begin to describe what's going on inside. Person asks you, how are you doing? I don't feel good, I'm really having a hard time. What did that say about what you're feeling inside? Right? And you start to try to tell, maybe it's a good friend, you're able to open the heart, start to speak. Even that is not considered the speech we're talking about. Those words are not really explaining the depth of what you're feeling. You're doing the guy a favor because you don't want to be rude, you're talking a little upset, there's someone's trying to be nice to me, have a conversation, how you doing? So you open up a little bit, but those words are not describing at all what's going on inside. שומע באוזניו את ההגיות שהגו שפתיו ויודע שאין בהם כל ביטוי אמיתי. Your ears hear the sounds coming out of your lips and you know there's no true expression at all in any of those words. Not that I'm lying, it's just that's not at all doing justice to what's going on inside. כאילו אדם אחר אמר את הדברים. As if someone else said everything you just said. That was someone else talking, that's not even me. זאת משום שעולמו הפנימי אינו בר גילוי עדיין. Your inner world is not able to be revealed yet. עמוק מכדי להתבטא. It's too deep. What's going on is still too deep for you to be able to express it. וכשם שלא בא הדבר לידי דיבור בפה, כך לא בא אל דיבור בנפש. You can't talk about it in your mouth. How, see the siyata dishmaya, or what we just did? Baruch Hashem, Ashech Achi. It wasn't on camera, right? But what we worked on was fixing the nefesh by way of breathing through the mouth. What we're talking about. As long as you can't talk about it in your mouth, you can't talk about it in your nefesh. There's an inner dialogue, there's an inner speech where you start to explain things to yourself. If you can't speak with it in your mouth, inside your soul, you also can't speak. שבין אדם לקונו ובין לעצמו. Whether you're talking about yidbodedut with you and Hashem or talking to yourself, right? Being there for yourself and giving yourself that reality check sometimes of what's going on. Can we talk, just me and me, can we talk about what's going on inside? המצב אינו בר ביטוי וגילוי גם כלפי האדם עצמו. The situation you're going through is not even able to be expressed to you. You can't even have a revelation of what's going on. You just know there's something up. But there's no expression at all. Not outwardly, not inwardly, not up and not down. You're stuck. You're not able to elevate above the situation. You're buried underneath it. You're part of it. It consumes you. רק לאחר שנעשתה נפשו שוכחת ושקטה והמצב הופך להיות פרוד ממנו, יש בו אפשרות לתת ביטוי וגילוי לעצמו או לאחרים. Only when the situation starts to quiet down and to rest, calm down, only then will you be able to express it to yourself and to others. לזה יקרא כוח הדיבור. This is the power of speech. כוח ההפרדה, the power to separate. שעיקר מעלת יציר כפיו של הקדוש ברוך הוא. This is the main thing. What made Adam Arishon? That he could speak. Ruach memalela. If not for that, okay, God made a golem. Great. The rest of the animals were also creations, but like Hashem really actually whatever, so to say, put his hands into this
What's
one.
a golem?
A piece of dirt. Frankenstein, no soul.
Yeah, this is a goal.
Yeah, a golem. There you go. AI. Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
like the modern day
Frankenstein.
I think you're talking about.
If you look up the golem with Maharal, you can find some amazing stories.
Only by way of you being able to separate yourself, right? Chushe Adam, Shmiya, Riyah, Mishush, Reach, V'tam, your 5 senses of hearing, seeing, feeling, smelling, tasting, they are all senses of absorption, of klita, of intake. Liklot min achutz, to take in from out and to bring in, right? All of the 5 senses that we have, they're all receivers, receptors. היחיד המוליד ביטוי מן הפנים אל החוץ הוא כוח הדיבור. The only sense that you have that can give an expression of what's going on inside outwardly is speech. אין הכוונה רק לגלות לאחרים, אלא גם הכוח ההכרה המאירה ביטוי וגילוי לנפש האדם עצמו קרויה כוח הדיבור. We're not only talking about speaking to other people. You being able to hear your voice inside, talking to yourself and explaining yourself, narrating your own story inside in the right way, that's also called כוח הדיבור. כוח זה יש בו לגלות ולבטא רק על ידי שמפריד האדם מן המצבים העוברים עליו ומעמידו חוץ להם. You only get this, it can only work when you're able to separate yourself from the situations you're in, the things that are happening to you. Again, whether they're good or not. Only when you can separate yourself from it and step out of it will you be able to really talk to yourself, to God, and to others. גם נפש בעלי החיים, סוערה והומייה בהמוני הרגשות הפנימיות. Animals also have tons of emotions going through them. They also have tons of feelings, animals.
Longing.
Right? נכון. Yearning, longing, right? They also have this going on inside them. Perik Shira, right? All the animals, all the creations have songs that they sing to Hashem. That's an aspect of yearning as well, right? Of this inner song. Ela, shagasha ya nefesh nehem chad hema. The feeling and the nefesh of the animal, they're one. Anamer ko'es v'aseh mefuchedet. Right? A leopard, a tiger, a big cat is a raging animal at its nature, and a sheep is a coward at its nature. That's what it is. They are the feelings that they have. It's one. בלתי יכולת לעמוד מחוץ לחס או לפחד ולחשוב על אודותם. The tiger can't think about why it's angry. The sheep can't think about why it's scared.
So when we say picture fear, picture anger, we just look at tigers and sheep?
No, think about Yud Kevavke with Shfa. אין לנמר ולכבש אני משלהם. Right? These animals don't have... Who's rocking the table? These animals don't have their own ani, their own ego, their own, right? That's above all of the emotions and the feelings that they have going on inside of them. They're not able to think about what is this emotion going to do. I feel like hunting. What does that mean? Right? The lion doesn't ask that question. It doesn't go there. This is what makes you not an animal. That's what makes you really a human being better than any animal in the world. You have an ego, you have your own sense of being that is separate from the situation that you're going on. It's separate than the feelings that you're going through in life, the things that come upon you. You're able to step above them, to think about them, to contemplate on them, to make decisions, to choose the right thing. That's what's called a medaber, a speaker. That's what makes a human being better than every other creation. If not, we're just like everything else.
The Torah in the Midbar.
The medaber. Kakatuv yeh adam lenefesh chaya. Person became a living soul. What does that mean? Leruach mimalela. He was a spirit that could speak, a soul that could speak, that could express, that was able to ascend above. Memalel, lashon meicha uferud la'asarat garin min hamotz. Melel, a mill. What's a mill in English? The same word as it in Hebrew. Milah, melel, speaking. In the Mishnah, it talks about molelin melilot, separating. It's like separating the what a mill does. You take a grain and you separate the husk, right? That action of separating the husk, the ikar from the tafel, is called melel as well, right? Molelin melilot, lashon achrata v'hasara, cutting and removing. Yemolel ve'yavesh, ki amilam, meaning separation. Speech is the ability to separate.
Amilam is a different
What is this?
Amilam is a different church. It's Amal.
No, amal is with ayin. Amilam is with aleph. I'm looking at.
Okay.
Yeah. Dibur lashon hanhaga. Dibur, speech, is the word of leadership, of yadber amim tachtenu. Yadber, we will put nations underneath us. Dabar echad lador. One leader, one speaker for the generation. כי לא יוכל מבחר הבריאה להיות בעל בחירה והנהגה לולא יהיה בו כוח שפיטה לדע את דרכו ימין או שמאל. You can't be a human being that has the ability to be the choicest of creations if you don't have the ability to judge situations, to be a leader, and to choose what is the right thing to do here. That's the word dibur. Dibur is a strong, right? We talked about this. Taged, Tomar Tagid, Daber el Bnei Yisrael. Right? Tomar Taged and Daber. Dibur is a strong leadership role. If you don't know how to tell the difference between right and left, so then you're not really a human. Right? You're not really the creation that Hashem was coming out to make. He was trying to plan to make a person that thinks, that rules over his situation, that makes the right decisions in life, that follows the Torah, that's telling you one simple rule. Pick right from wrong, pick right from wrong, pick right from wrong, pick right from wrong, and everything in life. ולא יוכל לכוח זה בלא כוח הפרדה הנסירה של עצמיותו מן המתחולל עמו. You won't ever get this ability if you don't have the ability to separate yourself from the situations that you're going through. שזה סוד שורש הדעת של כוח הדיבור והגילוי. This is the root of the ability of dat, of the ability of revealing things and speaking. Without this, you're in jail inside of your midot and your thoughts and your emotions, everything that you're going through. So to say you're cuffed up in handcuffs, mushpa mehem ufaul mikocham belo bechira. They influence you. They cause you to do things in this world without you even making a decision to do them, like an animal. Right? I hear lions far, 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 far away. The herd starts to move. No decision, just that's what nature does, right? Flock of sheep, send some wolves, you just move. No thought, maybe they're going to a different city, maybe let's wait it out, let's fight, let's talk to them, no, peace negotiations, no, none of that, right? The man has to think, has to contemplate what's going on here, let's make the right decision. And not to be influenced by what's going on and what's happening in life. הולדת כוח הגילוי והביטוי בנפש, כלומר כוח הנסירה והפרדה מן הדבר והיכולת לעמוד מחוצה לו נפעלת על ידי כי מין תרדמה העוברת על האדם. How do you get this? How do you get to this level? How do you separate yourself so you can get to a level where you can express it outwards? It's by way of rest. This rest and slumber that falls over a person. Menucha, hafsaka, itnatkut. Chill out, relax, take a break. Detach for a second. כפי הנראה בעליל של לעיתות ליל או חולשה, אדם נפעל מאוד מחמת מצב העובר עליו. When a person's weak, when a person's in nighttime, in a hard time, then they are very affected by the things that are happening to them. Right? They can't think straight. They're too weak to be able to stand strong against the wind that's coming against them right now, the ruach that's coming at them. Ve'en lo yecholetz lechaletz. He can't break himself away. But when you get out of that slumber, נתחדשו בו המוחים, והרי הוא צלול ובהיר להביט על הדברים שמבחוץ. Right? Now that you went, what he's essentially saying here, right? He's going to go into, I'm not going to ruin it. But what he's saying here so far is that when you get up from this slumber, when you get up from this hard time, you have a renewal of mochin, you have a renewal of mind, of emunah, of consciousness of Hashem that comes down. Everything becomes much more clear, and now you're able to stand outside and to look at the things. Sometimes you need to sleep on it, in other words. Right? Sometimes you just need a break. Stop thinking about it. Just relax. Distract yourself for a bit. When you come back to it, you have new mochin, you have a new way to think about it, right? And it could be a daydream. It could be a day nap. It could be real sleeping. And it could be a week not dealing with that thing. Until a month. A project you're working on, you stop. Be busy with something else and come back to it. Now see if you have new mochin.
Not with Inyanim of Kedusha though.
If it's consuming you in a negative way, it might be a good idea.
Did you say that it's the opposite?
It is the opposite, but we have to be healthy as well.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So what does that mean that it's the opposite?
Meaning when you get lost in dveikut, you shouldn't be asking the question, do I want this? How much should I? No.
And if you
Get lost. Forget the whole entire world. Keep going with Hashem as much as you can until it stops. Right? That is not where you want to, I'm at a wedding, how much should I drink? That's a kosher question. When the light of Hashem comes down on you, just go more and more and more and more and more. Want more and more and more. Kol menucha v'tardema baruch haba. Any type of rest, any kind of slumber, anytime a person goes into slumber, goes into katnut, goes into a hard time, it's so to say he's being separated from the situation. From up above. Separating you from the situation. But this is the time of the birth of the ability to be able to reveal and to speak. So to be found in our holy Torah. Before Hashem created a wife for Adam, before Hashem created this opposer against him, opposite from him that's meant to help him, she was unified with him as if it's one of the sides, one of his ribs, one of his limbs. Only when Hashem put Adam Arishon to sleep, put him in a state of slumber, she was separated, established, and created. Only after Adam was put to sleep was she created.
Yeah.
She, Dibur, Malchut, mouth, expression, Shechina, Gilui, decoration, beautifying, talking, getting it out. האישה היא כוח גילוי ויתוי של בעלה. A woman is the ability of expression and revelation of her husband. כוח דיבור. וצאתה מן הכוח אל הפועל היא על ידי תרדמתו. And her going out from potential to actuality is by way of him going to sleep. הדברים עתיקים בתורת הפנימיות. This is what I love about Rav Kluger. Rav Kluger will bring down the deepest Kabbalistic principles in a way like this. And what's beautiful, the psukim of the Torah would happen in there. If you know anything more of what he's saying here, you're like, what? How did you just do that? Right? Beautiful. It's the wife in this, bringing it from potential to beautiful, beautiful. נמצא שכוח הדיבור אינו רק עצם המילול והחיתוך בלשון. The ability to speak, the power of speech, is not just cutting words and saying, building sentences. Ashmat kol mechutach laotiyot letevot. Bringing out a voice that gets cut up into words and syllables and sounds. בכוח הדיבור כלולה לדעת שבדיבור. Inside the power of speech, the ability of speech, is dat שבדיבור. The consciousness that's behind speech. כלומר שכאשר זוכה הנברא לקבל דעת דיבור, הרי כבר בכך נקרא מדבר. When you, a creation, merit to get the ability of speech, dat the dibur, right? The consciousness of what speech means, now you're called a medaber. Now you're called a speaker. Even if you never say a word outwardly, דעת הדיבור היא הפרדת האדם מהמצב ומעמדתו מחוצה לו. The power of דעת הדיבור, consciousness of speech, is the ability, דעת again, אם אין דעת, הבדלה מנין. Right? Chazal says, if you don't have consciousness, so where do you have separation? Where do you have discern? How can you discern anything? How can you separate anything if you don't have consciousness? That's what it is. You don't have to be able to say it outwardly, but you have to have the ability of knowing what speech is to be able to at least speak to yourself, to speak to Hashem. מעתה יובן שבבוא הספרים הקדושים לתת ביד האדם את הסתכלות הנכונה לעצמו. Now we understand the holy books come to give a person the proper way to look at themselves. למען יבין את הכוחות הפועלות בו כאחת, הרי שבראש ובראשונה גילו בו כוחות התנתקות מעצמו. And the tzaddikim come to give you all of these tools to grow yourself and to bring yourself closer to Hashem and to get to higher levels of consciousness. What's usually the first thing that they want to come teach you? The ability to separate yourself from yourself. To go beyond the situations that you're going through. יכולת להתייצב מחוצה לו, להשקיף פנימה אל תוכו. The ability to step out of your being, right? Eliyahu, Meir, Avraham, right? To be able to step out and to look at the story of Avraham, the story of Meir. What's going on inside? לחלץ מבתוך העובר עליו כדי להבין מה עובר עליו. To get taken out of what's going on in your life, to be able to understand what's going on in your life. ולדע איך לשפוט ובמה לבחור. To know how to judge the situation and what to pick, what decision to make to move forward. כלומר שהספרים הקדושים המלמדים את האדם מהו, the holy books that are coming to teach a person what he is, כגון הדרך שהלך בספר התניה בחלק ראשון, like the Tanya did in the first part of the book. Right, the Tanya is made up of 3 different books. Right? What's classically called the Tanya, the first part, right? Likutei Amarim. So what he's coming to do, he's coming to teach a person, who are you? What are you? ללמד ליהודי על דבר בית הנפשות אשר בו. Tanya is coming to teach you, and all the holy books are coming to teach you, that you have 2 nefeshes, you have 2 souls that make you up. יש בהם להעניק ולהועיל נקודת הדעת שבכוח הדיבור. You have to be able to give them and to benefit them by way of this power of speech, the knowledge, the consciousness of speech. דרגת אדם העליונה מכל היכול לתת גילוי ויטוי לנפשו. Mankind, we're meant to be above all animals, above all beings, to be able to speak, to be able to have revelation, to get revelations and to reveal. ומכך גם יובן כוח הדיבור, היינו פשטות כלי פה ולשון. Now we understand what koach hadibur is, the power of speech, the ability of speech. Simply, klei, pe, velashon, derech habitui ha'az v'atzum biyoter. The vessel that is the mouth, the tool that is the mouth and the tongue, it's the strongest, most powerful expression you could have. Shachachamenu v'rabatenu yesdua, יסוד מוצעק ובריח תיכון להתקשרות האדם עם קונו על ידי דיבורי התפילה להשם יתברך. What's the number one thing, the biggest avodah that Chazal gave us? Connect to Hashem by way of talking. Tefillah, prayer. Above all, right? Torah is very, very, very holy, but if a relationship with Hashem is really through tefillah. You want to connect that, you want to have that of Hashem, you got to talk. You have to speak. You have to be able to talk. There's a last little thing just to finish off this idea. It's called Sim Shalom. Later on in the book, we're going to talk about the person, how you're not just one reality. You're made up of 2, mashpia and mekabel. An influencer, a giver, and a receiver. All uchli, right? We talked about this already. A light and a vessel with the previous story that we went through. בכל מורא העובר עליו, בכל מצב שמצוי בו, יש לפניו בית אופנים כיצד לחיותו להתייחס אליו. Anything you go through in life, there's 2 ways you can look at the thing, the situation, and how you can treat it and how you relate to it. על ידי לבושיו, היינו החלק שאינו חיצוני כלפי הפנימיותו, by way of the garments, meaning the external facet in comparison to the inner message, או על ידי עצם משהו, or by way of the core of what it is that it's, the neshama, the essence. מכאן האפשרות להפריד את אדם ממרותיו. Here's the ability to separate a person from what's going on in life. To be able to stand outside of the situation, because after you understand that you're made up of two, a core and a garment, right? A soul and a body. So then you understand etzem mashahu. You understand at the core what you are, and you're able to detach yourself from the situation. You're not the body, you're not the being, you're not the story of this human being with this neshama right now that's going through this gilgul. You're much bigger than that. You're able to step out of that. Zat Hashem, we're going to stop there. We see that the olam is fighting the goof. Zat Hashem, we'll come back to this later. Zat Hashem, what did we say today, guys? Essentially, there's two ways we can go through life when we're going through something, whether it's joy or hard times. Any situation that's going on in life, there's either you're stuck in the situation or you're able to step out of it and to look at it and to contemplate what's going on here, to judge it and to be able to choose the right situation. As long as you're stuck in the situation, that means you don't have the ability of speech. You don't have the power to speak to yourself, to your God, or to others about what's really going on. And even if you do have conversations, you're not really speaking. Because really speaking means I have data dibur. That means I have the consciousness of what speech means. And what is the consciousness of speech? That there's a much bigger picture here. I am not the situation I'm going through. I have a soul that's from a very lofty place. I was created to be able to be an expression of the lights and the situations that are going through me in life. And when I know that, and I can talk to myself, I don't even have to talk to others. I can talk to myself. It's proof that I've stepped out of my situation. I've risen above it. And now I can see it from a different perspective. And I can choose now what's the next step. Do I want more of this? Do I need less of this? Do I want to drastically change my life to save the situation? Or do I just need a little bit of effort to oil the machine better, to make it run a little bit better, right? Whatever is going on in life, if you can't talk about it, that's a problem, and you're stuck. And so to say, you're in the aspect of an animal. The winds and the emotions that are going to be coming around you are going to push you there, push you there, push you there. You're not going to have stability. You're not going to have the ability to go through life level-headed. The second that you're able to stop, rest, detach, think about what's going on, step out of the situation and look at your whole entire life. Contemplate the bigger picture, you become a human being. You become a speaker. And that's where we want to come to. That's where we were created to be. Zat Hashem, and we all have the bracha to be able to do that. Amen.